It arrived. It's here in my hands. I finally got my Tarptent Stratospire 2. There you go. As you can see, I've set up my Stratospire 2. Probably took me between 5 and 10 minutes. I thought I'd kind of messed it up a little bit at the beginning because yesterday when I set it up first, for the first ever pitch, you're supposed to get the kind of tie-outs that are near the doors with the zippers tied out first at the bottom with 2 stakes, and then you put the pole in, and then we tied out the other end with 2 stakes and then put another pole in. Found that a bit skew-if, so I thought I'd try it. Instead of going stakes, pole, stakes, pole, I've now gone stakes, pole, pole, stakes, and I thought like I hadn't got it quite right and it was kind of flopping a little bit, but as soon as I got those stakes in and boosted up the pole on the other side, it started to look good. And then you do the 2 struts at the either side, and then you just kind of start tightening it around. I'll tell you what, it looks really complicated, but it's actually easier to pitch, I find, and get it right almost every time than my Solplex. I found the Solplex, sometimes I'd pitch it and be like, why does it look like that? It just looks so weird. Or you'd have to adjust it a lot more and adjust the length of the guy lines, and then you wouldn't be able to get the poles in because the poles wouldn't get to the full length that they need to be. It was just a little bit complicated, whereas this one's a lot more forgiving, even though it looks a lot more complicated. So I'm going to take you off the tripod now and give you a little tour. So this is the Tarptent Stratospire 2 tent. Here's the spec sheet again, so you can have a look at that. Quite impressive specs. All in all, it cost me about something between like £450 to £500 to get it made, to get it shipped, and to pay the price for it as well. The import duty cost me £72 to get it through customs, which was insane. It's just an insane amount of money. But I looked at it, I saw the reviews, I was putting out loads of things on social media to basically ask you guys what kind of tent you thought would be the best thing to go for, and I was so torn between this and a Zpacks duplex. But I just wanted to try something that was a bit different. I've already got a Zpacks Solplex. So I wanted to try a different company, completely different materials. So yeah, let's give you the guided tour. Okay, so this is made completely out of Silnylon. That's the fly sheet, a mesh inner, and a Silnylon bathtub floor. It's this really kind of strange perpendicular kind of hexagonal shape, and then it's got 2 carbon fibre struts at either side. I've tied it down with 8 stakes today, so that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So you've got 2 on each end, 2 in the middle, and then you've got 2 on the guy lines on each side. So on the outside it looks like a really kind of symmetrical TP/hexagonal shape. It's a beautiful piece of design. And one thing I really love about the Silnylon is that it's really forgiving and stretchy. So when you pitch it, you get these almost, I mean, I've got a few little creases in it, but it's almost like completely pitch perfect, crease free. It looks so smooth. I mean, I could definitely adjust that and get those little mini creases out, but yeah, as you can see, just minus a few teeny tiny little creases, it looks so smooth. Let's go a little bit closer up now. So you've got some vent holes here where the where the trekking poles go into the grommets. Now, a really cool, interesting thing is where the trekking pole sits in the grommet, it actually sticks pointy side up and handle side down. So I'll try and open up the zipper. That's another thing I'm not used to is zippers. It's got a double zipper so you can zip it up both ways. I'll just close that one up and then unzip this end. I'm not used to that at all, you know, it's just so different. I'll show you how the trekking pole sits. So trekking pole is handle side down. There you go, there's the grommet just there. You can see the pointy end sitting in the grommet, which is actually quite good, you know, it's more stable. Sometimes on the Solplex you'd get like a funny pitch and the trekking pole end would be somewhere over here, not quite dead centre, so this kind of guides it to be dead centre. One thing I did do yesterday when I first pitched it was I got the pointy end of the trekking pole and it didn't sit in the grommet, it was kind of sat like here somewhere on top of the thing. So it's kind of like it wasn't like the most perfect pitch. So yeah, there it is in all its glory. I'll show you these struts at each side, because when I first saw one of these tarp tents with a strut like this, I looked at this thing and thought, oh, that looks a bit complicated, but really it's not complicated at all. It's already strapped together when it arrives, and all it is, you just got to put a stake through that loop and then pull it away from it, and then you pull this one tight to kind of get the tension right and get that angle, and there it is. It's really simple. It's got some removable bits here so you can get some ventilation. They're just stuck on by Velcro, and I think that whole thing kind of opens up and comes off, but I'm just going to leave that there because I don't really need to change that. But that's really cool. Let's go back into the tent now. Open up the zipper. It's really easy to open up, and then just roll this up. The Silnylon is so silky smooth. It's just a completely different material to DCF. And that just has a little elastic line lock tie out. There you go, as you can see, there's the trekking pole. The trekking poles don't have to tilt in either way, they just point straight up. It's got a D door, D zipper door. So unlike the Zpacks tents, which are rainbow shaped doors, with a D shaped door, you can open up the door like this and you can actually roll it up and use one of the tie outs here to roll up the tent door. Yeah, so now that's nice and open. You ain't got a bit of mesh flopping around everywhere, you're not sitting on it. I just think that's a really cool little design change for me. It's a really good move forward from what I'm used to with the rainbow door of the Zpacks Solplex. Yeah, as you can see, this is a Silnylon coated fly sheet. I went for the seam sealing option, so they offer the seam sealing service where they'll actually unpack the tent and then they'll set it up, and I think they brush the seams with the silicone sealant, and they've done a really good job. Then you've got this mesh inner which is attached to the fly sheet using clips, and you can actually set up this tent with just the mesh inner as well. You don't even need the fly sheet. So if you're definitely not going to rain and you want a starry night, you want to be under the sky and enjoy some stars, then you can without the fly sheet. So it's a bit more versatile in that respect. Let me just grab you off the camera and I'll take you into my boudoir. There we go, going inside. It's freaking huge. It's like a palace. For one happy camper, this is a palace. I'm not used to this amount of room. You could probably fit 3 people in there. Not even joking. It's really big. And what I really like about this design is because you've got the carbon fibre struts and the kind of perpendicular hexagonal shape, you get so much headroom in this thing. So much headroom. It's really good. Right, here we go. I'm just going to sit in here. And I'm like right at the end. That's about as far as I could go. Sitting upright. I'm 5'7", 18-inch torso, and it's not even touching the sides. You know, and if it was windy, then it's not going to be like flapping in your face everywhere. I don't know. That's one of the things that really deterred me from the duplex, is if it's windy, it's just going to be flapping around, and I've got a lot of that with the Solplex. And For one person the duplex would be amazing, but not for two. So I wanted a tent that for two people was going to see us through a through hike or two. One thing I found really weird is it doesn't look like the bathtub floor has got any seams, but it looks like they've put sealant across the floor of the tent. Can you see that? A bit like what they do with DCF, but they've sealed up what looks like to be no seams at all. It's really strange. So yeah, there's the tent in all its glory. Let's just untie this bit again. Do the zipper up, but don't want any bugs getting in. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, there you go. That's the first look at my new Tarptent Stratospire 2. I hope you enjoyed that. I've got a load of hikes planned. I really can't wait to go on. Bex and I are going to do the West Highland Way, and I'll probably, if I don't want to, I might switch out for the Solplex to go on my own on the Cape Wrath. I might not if I'm really enjoying the room. So yeah, this is going to be my primary tent for a little while. As soon as I can start getting into some more much lighter weight things. But yeah, Tarptent Stratospire 2, more coming soon.